Welcome to the Rewards Master. Today we're going to continue with a newer series that we've started where we kind of give some options for folks who are kind of new into the credit card game and hobby and who want to kind of step into, get their feet wet a little bit into points and miles, transfer partners, but they don't want to commit a lot of money to do so. So in the last video like this, I talked about a 5-card setup in 5 different bank ecosystems. And we talked about BILT and how you could also be in American Express, Capital One, you could be in Wells Fargo and also in Citi. But that's a lot, and it ended up being about a $250 or so annual fee. So today we're gonna kind of lower the bar, so to speak, but also see if this can compare and even be as good or better if you just jump into 3 credit cards from 3 different ecosystems. And here's the thing, with a $0 annual fee. Still have access to transfer partners, still be able to book those great flights on points in business and first class with your points, and get some sign-up bonuses, all of the above, but not have to pay any annual fees to do it. So if you would, hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll dive into it together. Now for this 3-card setup, we're going to look at the BILT MasterCard. We'll also take a look at the Wells Fargo Autograph Card, and finally the American Express Blue Business Plus Card. And with these 3 cards, a person would have access to 3 different bank ecosystems with 3 different sets of transfer partners. That is foreign airlines and hotel partners that they could transfer their points to and use them for outsized value. And all of this can be done without any annual fees. Now to evaluate this setup, we're going to use the exact same fictional budget that we used when we looked at a 5-card setup from 5 ecosystems. And so we're going to consider that a person would pay a rent or mortgage of around $1,500 a month, dining of about $300, grocery $500, phone bill $150 a month, gas around $200 a month, streaming at $50 a month, and we'll figure you fly sometimes, so that would average out to about $100 a month. When you travel, you would take some transit, so we'll average that out at about $100 a month. And then we'll figure in about a $400 miscellaneous spending every month. That comes out to a fictional budget of about $3,300 a month. So what are the cards that we're going to look at? The first one is the BILT MasterCard. Now this one is going to be foundational in the setup because as of right now, the BILT MasterCard has no annual fee, and it allows you to spend money on your rent payment without having to pay any kind of fees. So that is a great benefit. So at that $1,500 a month, we were figuring that's 1,500 points. But in the very near future, BILT is going to allow you to pay a mortgage. So you'll be able to build points up with BILT either way, whether you pay rent or you pay a mortgage in the very near future if they follow through with their recent promises. So that is one fantastic category. Now it's only 1x, so 1 point per dollar spent. But the other great category BILT has is 3x on dining. So this would be your dining card in this setup. So for the money that you spend eating out or takeout or having delivery, you're going to get 3x. And then BILT also has this cool feature that I didn't know how to figure in, so it's just going to be a bonus on top of the final numbers that we give in this video, and that is they have the rent day bonus. The rent day bonus makes everything double up to 1,000 extra points every first day of the month. So rather than getting 3x on dining, you get 6x on the first day of the month. Everything except rent. So if you need to pay other bills, instead of getting 1x like you get all the time, you get 2x on the first day of the month. So it's got some really, really good categories in that way. But BILT points are very powerful because they have some of the best transfer partners in the game. Hyatt is considered the best hotel transfer partner. You can get great value, upwards of 2 cents per point sometimes. They're a partner with BILT. Then you have airlines like United and and Air Canada and Air France, just some really good ones. But the real powerhouse these days is the Alaska airline partnership. Because Alaska, man, they have really, really valuable point redemptions, even for domestic travel. Sometimes you can get American Airlines flights for 4,500 or 7,500 points, even all the way across the country for 12,500 points. So Alaska is a great transfer partner. They have a lot of great transfer partners. So BILT will be kind of the foundational card for rent, dining, and then whatever you can do on rent day to get extra points. The second card that we look at on this list is the Wells Fargo Autograph Card. Again, Wells Fargo, it puts a $0 annual fee on this card, so it doesn't cost you anything to hold it, and it has some great multipliers. It has that same 3x on dining, but you're probably going to spend that on the BILT card because their points are just worth more. But this one gives you 3x on gas, it gives you 3x on transit, it gives you 3x on travel, so when you buy your airline tickets, you'll buy it with this card. And in addition to that, the card, unlike the BILT card that we mentioned, does give a sign-up bonus. So in that first year, you're going to get about a 20,000 point sign-up bonus for spending around $1,000 on the card in 3 months, which that's just a great extra points that you get in that first year. Now, the Wells Fargo Autograph Card, it doesn't have near as good of transfer partners. It does have some of the same ones. It has things like Air France KLM, which you could combine your points together between your Wells Fargo points and your BILT points. And it has a few others, Avianca Life Miles, Virgin Atlantic, that's another one you could combine. So of all the cards on this list, Wells Fargo has the weakest transfer partners, but it has really good earnings in those everyday categories, like gas, like streaming, like airfare and transit. So this is a card you're going to use in a lot of different circumstances. And the third card on the list is going to be kind of a strange choice, and some people might shy away from it because it's a business card, and it is the American Express Blue Business Plus card. I have this card. It's a fantastic card. Now you might think, well, I don't own a business. Well, you probably do. And what I mean by that is a business is very loosely defined as anything you do that's not a part of your W-2 type of job. So if you sell things on eBay, or if you mow a few yards, or if you babysit, or I mean, the list is long. Run a YouTube channel. I mean, there's a lot of things that would count as a business. And this card is not hard as a sole proprietorship to get approved for. I know this because I have one. So this card opens up the American Express ecosystem in a powerful way, because this card will serve as your catch-all credit card. It gives 2x American Express membership reward points on everything you buy. So it's anything you're not getting the 3x from BILT or the 3x from Wells Fargo, you just put everything else on this card, and up to $50,000 a year, you're going to get 2x on all the money that you spend, which adds up really fast. Now, it also has sign-up bonuses. It's kind of hard to pin it down because the way American Express works, it depends on when you're logging in and how you're logging in, what kind of bonus. But you can pretty much count on around a $15,000 to $25,000 bonus for around $1,000 to $1,500 in spend. So that's just extra points in the first year, and it gives you a great foundational card to be able to spend on everything else that you don't have an elevated bonus of 3x or more. The other thing about American Express is they have the longest list of transfer partners in the credit card community. So they have a lot of great ones. They include things like we've mentioned already, Air Canada. They include things like Delta if you want to fly domestic. Delta doesn't have great point redemptions, but there might be a use case for that. It has things like Air France KLM. It just has a super long list in all the different partnerships as far as SkyTeam and Star Alliance and the One World Alliance. So you should be able to, through partners, book a flight almost on any airline in the world. And so these partnerships are really, really good. It also has Hilton. So it's got a lot of great transfer partners. And you can kind of, on some of them, you could use points from all three of these credit cards, pool them together, and have an even better redemption. So how does this all play out as far as what kind of rewards you would get on that fictional budget that we put together? Well, based upon that $3,300 a month fictional budget we talked about at the beginning of the video, it would result in a BILT total of 28,800 points. And you'd get that from your dining spend and also from your rent or mortgage spending. Now, if you were to use that rent day promotion that they have every first day of the month, then you could get more than that, because you could use that for some of your general spending at get 2x BILT points. You could use that for, say, travel, and you could get 4x on that, or you could use it for dining and get 6x, up to 1,000 extra points a month. So at a floor, at a minimum, based upon the budget we put together, you're going to get 28,800 BILT points in a year. When it comes to Wells Fargo, based upon the spending categories of things like gas, based upon airline tickets, based upon your phone bill and streaming services, when you put all those things together that you can spend 3x at, then you're going to get a total of 21,600 Wells Fargo points at the end of the year. And finally, when we look at American Express and consider the Blue Business Plus, you're going to be spending that on your grocery, because you don't have an elevated grocery category with this system, but you're also going to be spending it on all your miscellaneous spending. And when you add all of that together, you're going to get a total the same as Wells Fargo of 21,600 membership reward points at the end of the year. So considering all of that, that would equal, in a setup without any annual fee, just doing your regular spending, you're going to end up with 72,000 points altogether, which is more than enough for a round trip, couples trip to Europe, or you could even get a business class flight to Europe for that. So I think this is a pretty good setup for somebody just wanting to dive in as a beginner into these transferable currencies and just to get their feet wet, but doesn't want to commit a lot of money toward annual fees. Well, I think overall, comparing the two, this setup is a little better than the 5-card setup. Overall, the multipliers are just about as good, and you're getting about the same amount of points, but they're concentrated in just 3 programs, and the other one had just under a $250 annual fee. This one has no annual fee. So if you'd like to compare to that other, I'll put the video up here at the end on the screen. You can click on it. If you would, please hit the like and subscribe button, and we will see you here in our next comparison video about how to get great value for very low annual fees. See you here next time.